Breaking news, guys. Panic in Sowore as Sowore once again calls on Nigerian youth to protest fuel price hike in Nigeria. Welcome back to Prospect Channel TV. Thank you for always coming out here. If you're just joining us, please kindly subscribe and don't forget to give us a thumbs up. #RevolutionNow convener Omoyele Sowore has urged Nigerians, especially youth, to rise against a hike in the price of petrol. The former presidential candidate of the African Action Congress said a massive protest against a hike can be done against like it was done by the youth in 1993, which he was involved as a student. After the removal of fuel subsidy on petrol was announced by President Bola Tinubu on May 29, 2023, the price of premium motor spirit (PMS), also known as petrol, rose significantly from approximately 185 naira to over 600. This increase has made a ripple effect, leading to the higher transportation costs and prices of goods and services, resulting in a sharp increase in inflation. He lamented that despite that the price of the product was moving forward 1,000 naira, while the national minimum wage stood at 30,000 naira. Tinubu's government is proposing to spend $100 million on a private jet. In a post on his X, formerly Twitter, on Sunday, the activist said, "In 1993, as student, we went to war against the military because they increased petrol, gasoline, the price to 3,000.25 kobo. It was unaccepted. Then, okay, I mean to say 3 naira 25 kobo. It was unaccepted then, and Nigerian students fought hard against the economically reunions, World Bank and IMF inspired policies under the guise of Restructural Adjustment Program (SPA). Today, the petrol price is almost 1,000 naira, with a minimum wage of 30,000 naira. But the priority of the official bat is the presidential jet valued at $100 million. It is important to note that the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) headquarters betrayed Nigerians in 1993. One of the key labor leaders then was Adams Oshiomhole. Yes, the same Senator Oshiomhole. Let the youth or people of Nigeria rise up and fight. It can be done again, bigger and better. #RevolutionNow. A record that fervent protest of 1993 when students takes a stand against a petrol price hike to 3 naira 25 kobo. The increase was seen as part of the economically damaging policies imposed by the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund (IMF) under the Structural Adjustment Program (SAP), which Nigerian students vehemently resisted. He also pointed out the historical betrayal by the Nigerian Labour Congress, the NLC, in 1993, noting that key figures like Adams Oshiomhole, now a senator, played roles that undermined the struggle. So I reposted a copy of a newspaper publication of Tuesday, November 30, 1993, in which he recounted his ordeal at the hands of security operatives during his time as a student union leader. He said, "When they came that morning, they first arrested some of our students, and when I came forward to ask for their release, some SSS men just sprang from nowhere and squeezed me into a waiting car. The arrest was more of an abduction. It was barbaric. I was virtually kidnapped by the SSS men. They said they were asked to get me dead or alive. I was driven straight to Ikeja, the office of a deputy commissioner, a deputy commissioner, administration, one Mr. Adeye. When I was brought before him, he asked what we were protesting for, and I replied that we had a right to protest the ills of the society. I then queried the use of live bullets by policemen that morning. He unrepentantly said they had to defend themselves. At that point, I was furious and told him to his face that they, the police, should therefore expect the worst from us, the students. Immediately lost his cool, get up from his seat and slapped me twice. He then ordered that I be detained without contact. I was handcuffed and bundled into a waiting car and we drove off. They headed for Shagasha on the outskirts of Lagos. I was there for about 13 minutes before I was returned to Lagos. While at Shagasha, they asked for all I had on me. We were 4 in the car, 2 officers and the driver for the trip to 15 Awolowo Road, Ikoyi, SSS headquarters. At a point, they wanted me to advise the government on fuel price, but I told them that since there was no legitimate government in place, there was no point advising them, but to ask them to leave. During the chat, they denied what the police told me, that the SSS shot students. The SSS said it was the police that shot students. I just looked at them as dishonored men. At the end of the day, at 6:30 p.m. exactly, I was taken to Ikoyi and detained at the State House Police Cell, where I learned late Major Okara and some of his men were detained. The police is around Dudan Barracks, second gate. It is a room cell. We were 2 in the place in compound of one Fred, who claimed he had been kept there for about 21 days without interrogation. The guy, according to him, is a clearing and forwarding agent. He continued, and about 7:50 p.m., that's Monday, day of my release, I was asked to get my things. Initially, I thought they were taking me to Abuja. I was taken back to the SSS headquarters and asked to wait. During the travail, some officers gave instructions from the removal of the police from our gate. I was later taken by one of the SSS guys to Adekunle, where he dropped me at about 9 p.m. Okay. Before I was released, my kidnappers asked me if I can guarantee peace on campus, but I told them that as long as we have corrupt and illegitimate people at the helm of our affairs, we students will not relent in our fight. I must hasten to say here that the Nigerian Labour Congress NLC leadership is one big problem we have in this country. See the way they sold out. They pretended as if they were negotiating when they had already agreed with government fees patrol at 3 naira 25 kobo. The strike was staged to deceive us. Okay, the Oshomole are conspirators. It was all programmed. They staged everything. One day we still surprised the government sincerely. We have a later day with this legitimate government, and mark me, it will be bloody. We will take vengeance and ensure justice, fair play, and the removal of all agents of doom. Okay. So guys, una don hear am. So Sowore is just trying to pour out his grievances, the way the country is moving and everything. Now the question is, can this country ever get better again? Abeg, make we hear from you. Kindly drop your comment below the comment section. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Thank you and bye for now.